If you are a high vibe woman over 40 and you are just tired of attracting the same unfulfilling types of romantic relationships over and over again. So we're talking about the commitment phobes, we're talking about the sex buddies with no future, we're talking about the projects versus partners. If you're just tired of that and you are ready to attract your happily ever after, then this video is for you. I am Carissa and I help high vibe women heal their hearts and attract new love. So today we're going to talk about the one thing that high vibe women over 40 need to understand about the law of attraction to attract love. All right, so big insider secret for you. The law of attraction is actually secondary when you are wanting to manifest love. And I know that there's a lot of information out there from different spiritual teachers and different manifesting gurus about how to do this. And a lot of times the advice is to focus on envisioning what you want and then creating the feeling for yourself of already having it, because then you will attract that thing to you. And while that is part of it, and it's not wrong, it is incomplete. So what I want you to understand today, the big secret that you really need to understand and that you need to know, is that the first step is actually healing. So the first step is not the law of attraction. It's not vision boards. It's not visualizing what you want. It's not making a love list. It's not doing these kinds of things. The first step is actually healing. So why do we focus on healing? Well, because healing makes it really easy to attract love. And when we do our healing work, the law of attraction kicks in to bring us what we are already naturally in our most healthy state magnetic to. When we focus on healing first, a lot of good things happen. One, we don't have to fight resistance. So these resistance thoughts that you might have coming up a lot when you're trying to do things with the law of attraction, when you're trying to use affirmations a lot, when you're trying to, just keep your focus positive and all that kind of stuff, which incidentally, you cannot, because we're human beings and it's just impossible to stay positive 100% of the time. But that's another video. Anyway, when you focus on your healing first, then you don't have to fight that resistance. So when you have those kinds of thoughts coming up that are things like, this works for other people, but not for me. I'm not one of the kind of people that can make the law of attraction happen. When you're having those kinds of thoughts, that's a resistance thought. When you can see yourself being sort of halfway invested, but not fully invested in the process of manifesting, that is a resistance. That's driven by a resistance thought. That's driven by resistance in your energy. Another thing when you focus on your healing is that you stop sabotaging yourself with limiting beliefs. So limiting beliefs in terms of manifesting love are things like, especially for women in this age group, there are things like no one wants someone who's been divorced, or no one wants someone who already has children, or I have to lose weight before I can manifest a partner, before I can attract love, before I can attract the kind of person who I would be interested in, right? These are all limiting thoughts and limiting beliefs, and they're all BS. They're all just ways that our wounds trick us into staying still and being safe, which is not really what is happening. We're not really being safe. We're really being stuck. And when my clients work on their energetic healing, the work that we do together, they don't have to lose weight. It doesn't matter that they are divorced. It doesn't matter that they have kids. I mean, the partner who's looking for them is looking for the whole package. One of my clients was so convinced that it was impossible for her to attract a financially stable partner because she was a single mother who was struggling financially. And what she did once she healed the things that were going on energetically was, this is how amazing the universe is and how these things all come together. She's sitting over here thinking, nobody wants a single mom who is struggling financially. Well, over here was a man who had been working on his, building his business for a couple of decades, and then found himself in his mid-40s with a successful business, exactly where he wanted to be financially, but alone. He had been focusing all of his time and his energy on building his business, which was something he needed to invest in to get to the goal that he wanted to achieve. But when he got there, he found that it was kind of lonely and empty. And these two connected as soon as she cleared out the things in her energy that were keeping her from being able to see that that was a possibility for her. As soon as she was able to clear out those limiting beliefs and the resistance that was in her energy. So that's why, she could have envisioned this person all day long, and it doesn't necessarily mean it would have attracted him to her. She still had beliefs that were pushing him away. She still had beliefs that were thinking he was impossible, that it was impossible for this person to exist, and that he would want to be with her. So that's one of the ways that when your healing kicks in, the law of attraction is very, very easily just gets on board and helps you to bring in what you are already naturally magnetic to. It's not about, it's like Rumi said, our goal is not, or our work is not to attract love. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but our work is not to attract love, but to remove all the barriers within ourselves to receiving love. That's straight up energetic truth right there. Another thing that is a benefit to doing your healing work first is that you actually feel better while you wait. Every manifestation takes a little bit of time. And wouldn't it be great to enjoy the interim while you're waiting for this person to come in, rather than being just like beset with frustration and doubts and struggling with the resistance and all those kinds of things. When you do the healing work, then the wait for the person to come is actually really enjoyable, and it doesn't feel like you're just waiting for your life to start. It feels like you are enriching your life and creating a more fulfilling situation for yourself in the present, which is exactly what you're doing. One reason why it's really important to focus on these things in our 40s and beyond is that by our 40s, we've usually had at least 2 decades of trying to navigate this, world of romantic love as a grown-up woman. And so we have a lot of sort of battle scars and wounds and ugly experiences that we've been through. And the beliefs that come out of these experiences, if they're not healed and attended to and addressed, they can turn into laws for our life. A thought is something that you can change. A belief is something that you can change through changing all of the thoughts that are connected to that belief, right? But when a belief carries over time for too long, it becomes a law of our life. It becomes a way we see the whole world that is very, very resistant to change. So we really want to get to these things while they're still beliefs at this time in our life, so that we can turn the tide in a way that's really easy and that will lead to that blissful future that we want to create for ourselves. So now is the time for us to do that. The other reason that these things are really important for us to do as we're around this age is that, we want it to be now. We're tired, frankly. We're tired of struggling through unsatisfying relationships and reaching the same unhappy ending over and over again. And another reason that it's important for us to do this work now at this time in our lives is that we're ready to invest in a proven solution that actually works for us, rather than trying to just kind of flail around and accomplish everything in a DIY way through trial and error. We are ready to invest in ourselves. We know that we are worth investing in, and we know that there are solutions to our problems, and we are ready to do that. So that's another reason why it's so important for us to do that work around this age. So what can you do? What specifically can you do, right? Well, when I work with my clients, we work in objective reality, which is like your everyday world, and we work in energy, and that's the reason that they see the big results without having to go online, without having to lose weight, without having to dance naked under the full moon, unless that's something that they're really into, in which case, help yourself. But without having to do all these kinds of things, we can focus on getting big changes and big breakthroughs if we look at objective reality and do work there, and we do work on the energetic side. And what a lot of people do is they'll do one or the other. So they'll get really into online dating, and they'll start thinking like, well, if I didn't find anybody on this app, I'll go to this other app. That's the answer. The answer is another app, right? The answer is happy hour with my friends. The answer is asking my friends to hook me up. The answer is blind dates. The answer is, maybe the answer is speed dating. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, maybe the answer is investing a whole bunch of money in a matchmaker. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe the answer is like a singles cruise or something like that. Like, they get really invested in the search, the hunt, and no matter where you go, you're bringing your same energy with you. So that's not that helpful. Or they get very, very into the energetic woo-woo spiritual side of everything. And they'll be like, I can't do this right now because it's Mercury retrograde. Or they'll be like, I'm just going to sage everything and try to bring in somebody new. Or they'll be like, I'm going to make a vision board and I'm going to, do this and that, And everything has its place, but when you do the right things in energy and the right things in objective reality, that's when you see the results that you want to see. Because the truth is, the law of attraction is a universal law. If you are using it systematically and you're doing the same thing, you will get results. The same way your body is subject to physical laws, your energy is subject to metaphysical laws. So the law of attraction, a law is a law is a law is a law. And the law of attraction will work for you if you do the right things in the right order and you clear the decks ahead of time by doing your energetic work. All right, so what do we do? Well, things you can do today. I'm going to give you a couple suggestions that you can do in objective reality, and then I'm going to give you a suggestion for what you can do in energy. In objective reality, one of the things that you can do is that you can stop sending mixed messages to the universe. That's a big thing that we do. Metaphysical teachers used to call this praying in two ways. And so what we do a lot of times is that we say, I'm ready. This is my year to have my right partner. This is my year for my divine soulmate. This is my year for love. But then we'll be like cyber stalking our ex on Instagram, and putting ourselves to this turmoil. Like, a lot of my clients will do this thing where they're looking at their ex's Instagram account and they're looking at the person he's dating now, and they're trying to, they're really tearing up their souls, asking these questions like, is she prettier than me? Trying to figure out, is she prettier than me? Why does he want her and he didn't want me? All of these kinds of things that are not from a place of strength and healing and your natural power, so, and it's a distraction away from your healing. So one of the best things that you can do for yourself in objective reality is to stop following your ex online. Another thing you can do for yourself, and that means Instagram, whatever, everything, right? Another thing that you can do for yourself in objective reality that's really, really powerful is to block your ex on your phone. I actually had one person literally put into her phone, do not pick up, it's this person, for his name, which was a really good thing for her to do, because what you'll find is that as you do a lot of the healing work and you get healthier, you get stronger, and you clear things out of your energy, exes come back. Because it's a test. It's a test from the universe to see if you really do want this healthy, satisfying, fulfilling love you've been asking for, or if you're willing to settle for accepting more of the same. So that's why you want to do a lot of the healing work and really understand the dynamics and energy of what's going on behind everything. So anyway, you want to block him on your phone because he is going to try to come back. And also, don't go places hoping that you're going to run into him. And I know that this is kind of a touchy one. I understand people have different opinions about this. Because on the one hand, you could say, well, I was going to that place before I ever met him. I have a lot of friends that go to that place. And why should I have to change my habits? And why should I have to change doing what I love to do because this person, and I aren't together anymore? You are absolutely right. Yes, that's correct. But the thing is, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because the more that you put yourself in the path of this person, especially before you've healed these things in energy and cleared them out completely, then the longer it's going to take for you to get to the love that really is satisfying and makes you happy. And it doesn't really matter if you broke up with your ex 5 days ago, if you broke up with your ex 5 years ago. If you're attracting the same pattern over and over again, the same flavor of heartache over and over again, relationships with the same problem over and over again, it means your ex is still in your energy, and there are wounds there that are drawing to them in energy what is a match to them. So those things have to be cleared out. Because think about it, you probably have friends who attract a different type of heartache, or you have friends who always are in great relationships. Well, that's because that's what their energy is set to. So that's what we're wanting to clear out and heal for you, so we can set your energy to where it needs to be for you to be happy and have the love that you deserve. So another thing you can do in objective reality that is really helpful is that, a lot of times what we do is we sort of put our lives on hold while we're waiting for this thing that we feel like is going to be the missing piece. We're like, I'll go on that vacation once my soulmate shows up, or, I'll buy a house once I'm in a relationship, or whatever. I'll start working out and exercising and get fit and healthy once I'm in a relationship, those kinds of things. And, Florence Scovel Shinn calls this the perfect square of life, is health, wealth, love, and success, right? So you've got all 4 squares. And success can just mean contributing your gifts in the world in a way that brings you satisfaction and that helps people. So instead of just waiting around for that one side of the perfect square of life, to be satisfied, work on the other 3. Work on your health, work on getting your finances in order, and work on how are you going to show up in the world and share your gifts. So those are 3 big ways that you can do things in objective reality. Actually, I think that's like 4 big ways that you can do things in objective reality that are helpful for you to clear this out and attract love. Here's one big thing that you can do in energy. Big energetic tip. You can go to theheartachecure.com and you can pick up my free ebook for you that's going to talk about the 5 breakup wounds. The 5 breakup wounds that are still in your energy if you're still attracting the same kinds of patterns over and over and over again. Because those things need to be healed in order for the law of attraction to really kick in for you in a helpful and powerful way. So go to theheartachecure.com, pick up your free ebook, and I'll see you in there. And for more tips on how to heal your heart and attract the love that your heart craves and deserves and desires, subscribe. And remember that self-love is the best love. So love you first, love you best, and all other types of love will flow to you. Take care.